ready to do it. Round of applause for David Archuleta here. How are you, man? Happy birth book day.
It feels really good. I feel like it's taken a few years of unraveling beliefs that no longer serve me.
Yeah.
And having to build new ones and healing, and then getting in a good place to share the journey with other people and connect with other people who've walked similar journeys like I have. So it's a special place, and it's been a lot of emotions, a lot of tears, but a lot of smiles as well.
One of the things that I had recently read about the evolution of this story in this book, and some of the friends that you've been able to lean on. Jeanette McCurdy was there to help you, as she put out a beautiful book as well. But to find friends in the industry, to find family members who you felt asking for help and being there as your support in this, very stripped down version of who David Archuleta is. What did it mean to have, so much support from those people who really were there to help you get this story out there to the world?
It's meant so much. It's meant so much to me because I'm someone who's always had a hard time believing in himself. And I talk a lot about my dad in the book as well. And as difficult of a dynamic that we had and complicated, he was someone who believed in me when I didn't. And having someone pushing me to believe in myself when I didn't helped me to follow my dream and my career and what I'm doing now. And now with this book, just to be able to have friends who, when you need a little bit of a push and a belief in yourself, that your story is worth telling, to have them say, like Jeanette, I'm so grateful to her because we're not talking every day or necessarily, but when we do talk, it's always a life checkup. Yeah. And on one of those life checkups, she was I was telling her about what I was going through and what I was learning, and I had just come out as queer and was trying to figure out what spirituality meant to me now. Mm-hmm. And she just said, "Have you thought of writing a book?" And I said, I have thought about it. And she said, "I would like to introduce you to the team that I wrote my first book with." Yeah. And then afterwards she followed up. So it's I thought oh, that's a sweet thing to think
say
of.
Or to, yeah.
And she followed up and said, "Hey, I just want to check back in. And if you're all right, I want to make that introduction email."
Yeah.
And I was okay. And so it's just, you shouldn't have to fully rely on it, but it's nice when you have someone in your corner encouraging you and saying, when someone believes in you, it just makes it more realistic. Maybe this is worth telling and sharing with the world. So, and having many people like that along the journey who've helped me get to this point of releasing the book and just being a singer too. So I'm grateful for everybody who's helped me.
With that thought, how much more do you believe in yourself now? What did you find in your heart? You know what I mean? Where's the strength at for you on a scale of 1 to 10? How full is the heart? And how strong does the heart feel knowing that you had that belief system, but now you can take some of that energy from others and pour into yourself? Right.
I would say at this point, I'm at a good, maybe it's an 8.5 out of 10, because
there's room for improvement, brother.
Yeah, there is room for improvement because there's always something. There's a little voice sometimes that is can I do this? Does this matter?
Yeah.
What if I could have said this better, or things like that. But at the same time, regardless of that, if I didn't have those things that are just habitual, I feel like I would be maybe even 9.5, 10 out of 10, because I feel like I've spent so many years trying to tell this story. And I know what I want to say. I know what my mission is. So regardless of whatever outcome is, what people may think, because I get in my head, I'm what are people going to think? What if people take this the wrong way? Especially my church community that I grew up with, my fellow Latter-day Saints and Utahns. I get concerned about what are they going to think? Are they going to think I'm the bad guy, this villain trying to attack their faith? And I'm not trying to do that. And I feel like I did a good job to make sure that there was still a lot of love and saying I still love this community.
For sure.
And I am who I am because of it. I want to make this community that I love a safer place for people like me.
You're telling your truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if we could all do our part and understand that it's okay for us to express our truths and it not maybe align with other people's thoughts, but it's our truth. And if I can be there to support you, if I can be there to support my brother or sister in telling their truth, that's more important than anything. I shouldn't be putting my negative thoughts or energy onto something that they've gone through. So I want to say on behalf of anyone who has a chance to grab Devout, just thank you for telling your truth and being brave enough to do that and allowing us to be there to support, not only through this story, but like we've done watching you as a musician throughout the years, dude. I mean, it's really cool. And before we started rolling, told you, we briefly bumped into each other on the carpet of our iHeart Awards last year. And just to see the smile, to see you, just own, what I mean, who you are is really dope.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I mean it. I really mean it. You were talking about, using your voice, the audiobook. Yo, and then I'm hearing there's music coming along with the audiobook as well.
Mm-hmm. You know it because as a singer, and as like an artist, it doesn't feel complete for me without the music.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I'm telling my story, I've got to put in some songs.
But that doesn't mean that you're singing the paragraphs. You're creating your own songs to go along with
Oh my gosh. There were some parts where it's like I'm referring to songs I was singing in the book and I can't just for like copyright or legal issues, I can't sing the song. So I was like having to just say a song's lyrics. I'm like, this feels so weird. I'm like, and I'm telling you, I'm like, what? It's supposed to be, and I'm telling you, So it's just, but in the audiobook, I'm like, and I'm telling you. So I'm like, what? So I'm glad I could put some like melodies into the audio.
That had been a pretty cool learning experience too. I mean, had you ever done an audiobook or learned how to just read back lyrics instead of singing them? It's got to be a new, right? Yeah.
And I mean, people have always said like, David, you should just like read. Can you just read something? Because they're like, your voice. Do ASMR.
It's pretty like I've thought about that even when we're having this conversation here. Like, damn, don't become a radio DJ because I want the job security. You got pipes, bro.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't got the energy you got in your voice.
Okay, all right,
come on.
That's
people. A lot of times on the radio, people are trying to like get their energy up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put them to sleep, especially like when they're driving. Like I'm not,
no,
they're these people. I'm like they're gonna have to pull over and take a nap if I'm.
Okay, so I've got a little job security. I love that, man. Oh man, but before we get into what we really are here for, we are here for you. I do want to know lastly, the takeaways as we flip through the pages that we read the story. We get to see the unreleased photographs of you as a little baby, David.
I'm like, what unreleased photographs are you talking about?
In the book that we have that we're just now seeing for the very first time.
Oh my gosh! Look at this photograph. Sorry, that was the first thing that came to my head. It wasn't that. It was look at this graph. Anyway,
I love it. How excited! I know we kind of covered that in the first part of this conversation, but like to have people really get to know who you are now and the David who stands and sits before us. Like, how proud are you of the 2026 era of who David Archuleta is?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people know me from American Idol, if they're old enough to remember. Not that you're old for remembering me. We're still young.
Yeah, we're still young.
But there's people who weren't born yet that are like, I hang out with. I'm like, oh my gosh, you weren't born yet. Or anyway, I guess it's like, what's the youngest? You'd have to be like 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
Like all my nieces and nephews, like back before you were born. Let me tell you about Uncle David. But so like people know me from American Idol. Or they may know me from like cameos from Hannah Montana and iCarly. And that was like teenage David who was trying to figure himself out. Like he was in front of the camera and had like these fans starting to follow him, liked his songs, but I was trying to be who I thought they would like.
Yes.
But I didn't like myself, and I didn't know who I even was. But I was like, whatever's in there gives me the ick. I don't like this. And then now that I'm in my 30s, it's like, oh, like I'm finally learning how to like myself. Yeah. And that was like it wasn't until I was 30 years old that I was finally able to say, I I'm going to learn who I am. I'm going to get to know myself and not be afraid of who I am, because I was afraid that like being queer was something that was bad and evil and dark.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'm supposed to be afraid of myself because there's something wrong with me. And finally in my 30s, I'm able to be like, oh, I'm okay. And like, I can love myself, and wow, it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good to feel this. And then to like gain confidence, feel comfortable in your own skin, and then write songs about it and write, a book, write a book about getting there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really talk about what it's like to be there. It's like the process of, I had to go through all this mess before I could finally accept myself. Yeah.
It's about being an 8.5 and working towards that 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful, dude. That's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
And thank you for opening up, dog.
Thank you.
Mean that. Now, David Archuleta, welcome to Maxwell Celebrity Shakedown, brother.
Ooh, okay.
Gonna break down the rules for you. I've got 6 questions here. Now, you can answer the questions for free, but if you don't want to answer them, I'm just gonna start taking stuff. No follow-up questions. Just ask that you keep it as honest and keep it as 100 as you possibly can.
Ooh, okay.
Are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
First question for you, man. Who's an artist that you almost collaborated with, and why did it not happen?
Oh, shoot. This one stings. Oh gosh. There's like this whole like thing that happened during Christmas. I released a Christmas EP just last year. And I first reached out to my friend Jordan Sparks. And I didn't hear from her for like a week. So I was just like, oh, and I was like reaching my deadline. So I was like, okay, I gotta find somebody else to do this song with me. And then I reached out to my friend Tori Kelly.
Wow.
And I was like, hey, like, would you be up to doing this duet? And then Tori responded to me pretty quick, and she was like, oh my gosh. And she was on tour with Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
I was just getting back from that. She was on his European leg of his tour. And then she's like, oh my gosh, like let me see if I can make this work. And she was about to have her baby.
Have the baby, yeah.
And she was working on her own project, and she had just gotten back from the tour. And so it was like so much happening for her that it just didn't work out.
Fair enough.
Then Jordan got back to me like within that time. And so I was like, oh shoot. I'm like, okay, what should I do?
Yeah, you were in a triangle.
But I was so glad that they both got back to me. Tori ended up not being able to do it though.
Okay.
So I was really sad about that. But Jordan was able to do it. So I ended up being able to do it with her, and she sounded incredible on it. And she's who I like originally reached out to anyway.
So it worked out.
I was glad that it worked, because Jordan and I had talked about doing a duet since like for over a decade.
Wow.
And so I was just I was so happy that it worked out with her. I would still love to do something with Tori though.
Well, yeah, new mom, Tori. If you need a babysitter, drop, you know what I'm saying, baby off here at Maxwell's house. I got you. You can work with David. All right.
Hey,
here we go. Hey, when was the real moment you realized you were famous? Like the first time you felt like this different energy when you walked into a room?
I guess it was during American Idol so I was 17, and we were going shopping. We would go with a stylist to go shopping for our clothes. And at first, we just do our shopping.
Yeah.
And then there's this, like, one week, I don't even remember which week, but we started going out, and people just started stopping me and going, and I needed to have security with me. And I was just kind of like, what am I supposed to do in this situation?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know how to respond to people I didn't know. It was, because it kind of feels like NPCs, like in your life, like everyone's just kind of, but suddenly the NPCs are like looking at you, and I'm like, and coming for you, and I'm like, what is going on? And I didn't know how to respond. I'm like,
you couldn't step into Buffalo
what is your
the same
name?
way.
Like, I don't know who you are, and you're coming up to me, and like some people it was like they were panicking, but they were just excited.
They were excited.
And they would scream. But like, you're not used to that reaction from people normally.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
6 episodes?
What is wrong? Yeah. What's going on? And because we were like in our little bubble, so it's not like we were starting to see people slowly recognize us. It's just, it went from 1 week and then the next week it was just pandemonium.
Yeah.
So that was pretty wild.
I'd imagine, stepping into Spencer's Gifts was a little bit different, going to the mall.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was too Mormon I was so Mormon and I was so squeaky clean that I was like, we're not supposed to go into that store.
That was the forbidden.
Yeah.
You don't.
Now I go in there all the time. That's one of my favorite stores at the moment.
Let's go.
But at the time, I was just like, oh, no, there's naughty things in there.
Well, here we go, David. It's Maxwell Celebrity Shakedown, and this next question kind of flows with the fans because we as fans have watched you evolve in the public eye. You know, what's something that people still misunderstand about you, even to this day?
Something that people still misunderstand about me? I don't know. I'll have to ask them, I guess. You know, I think also, I think when I say queer, people think that I'm, I think people still misunderstand what it is to be bisexual. And that there's like varying degrees of that.
Yeah.
I try to say queer just to keep it broad because I'm like, oh, bisexual sounds too 50-50. But I do, when I came out, I came out as bisexual.
Yeah.
And I still identify as bisexual, but I just say queer because I'm like, oh, I'm going to mostly date men. It just feels right. And, but sometimes people think, oh, like, I feel like there's bi erasure and even like biphobia a little bit. Not, I don't know, but never mind, I'm not going to enter that. But there's like bi erasure where they think, oh, bisexual people are either people who are just curious and then they just want to go back to being straight, or they're gay people who don't want to admit that they're gay.
Understand that part.
It's like, well, no, there's space, there's nuance, and I feel like sometimes we live in a world where we just want everything to be this or that. I just want it to be binary. Like you got to pick a side, and sometimes there's like sometimes there's nuance. And there's
no misunderstanding it now. That's what we're here for, man. You answering for free. I'm not taking anything just yet, but let's see if this one will have us reaching in your bag.
No.
What's the one song of yours, David Archuleta, that you are sick and tired of being asked about, but you've never really said it out loud? What song are you just like, I don't want to answer that question about that song?
Sick and tired of hearing all these people talk about.
I mean, you can answer for free, or I can start taking things. Your call.
Oh gosh, I don't want you to take things from me. I don't know. What is there something? I'm not really tired of my music though. I'm gonna be real.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
There was a time, once upon a time, like maybe in 2009, 2010, when I was a little sick of Crush.
Okay.
But it was just because I was like, okay, like I like the song, but now it's like that's all people want to hear. And now I've just like embraced it. I'm like, you know what, people, I'm like, it's been like 17 years since that song came out, and people still like it. I'm like, I'm not gonna complain.
All right.
You could have forgotten about it a long time ago. and you still like it. So I'm grateful for that. And I don't get tired of singing the song.
All right, a couple more here. Maxwell Celebrity Shakedown with David Archuleta. Who's the most famous person that you have ever left on red? And what do they say?
Oh, God. Okay. Oh, you're getting up.
Bag.
She's like, okay, I'm bringing the bag.
Yeah, let's bring the bag. Let's see. I'm just going to take something. What's in the Lululemon there, man?
What is in this Lululemon? Oh.
I can take this from you.
No,
$25 Dave and Buster's. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take this and give this to one of your super fans.
You know, if you pass it along, I can do that. But I do love me Dave and Buster's. Maybe invite me to come with you.
Oh, okay. No, all right.
Unless you're creepy. Unless you're too creepy.
There we go. Shaking you down for that. Last question, David Archuleta. Remember, you can answer for free.
Okay.
I mean, or I can take things. It's your call.
Okay.
What's the most industry thing that you were ever told to do that you hated? Like wardrobe, lyric, vibe, anything.
The most industry thing?
That you were told to do, but you absolutely hated.
That I hated at the time, but I kind of wish I would have done now. Yeah. Because I was totally anti breakup songs before. And like, not just breakup, but like where it's like you're longing for somebody. I mean, I did release a couple songs like that, but there were some songs that I was just like, this is too mature, and like, not mature, but I think it was like too lovey.
Got it.
And it was just something I couldn't relate to at the time because I'd never been in a relationship. And I was like, I want to sing about things I've actually been through. And now I'm like, oh damn, that was a banger. Like why did I skip out on recording that song or releasing it? So, oh, you live, you learn.
Hindsight's 2020 always.
Yeah.
Well, looks like one of your
Dave and Buster
fans who got to go.
But I hope you enjoy that because
David.
David.
Matter of fact, you know what?
always a fun
Also,
day.
just because I wanted to take this from you earlier.
Oh shoot! And I answered too many questions. I
Yeah,
was too willing to answer.
I'm gonna have you. I'm just gonna I take it from you anyway. Devout, brand new book is here.
That you can
I think I'm
take.
gonna have you autograph it and give it to a fan as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, is that cool? I mean,
Sure.
I'm sure you
I
got
kind of
extra
want you to ask
copies.
me something I don't want to answer though. But you gotta. That's the kind of condition.
It's the
If you
rules of
wanna
the
take
game.
it from me. You gotta answer. You gotta ask me something that I can't.
So do I keep this for myself? Is the question.
Oh my
then.
gosh.
Wow. Because you passed the vibe check, bro. There are no
What?
questions that you were unafraid to answer.
I thought you were gonna be more
the one.
controversial with your questions here.
I wouldn't ask you anything that I don't want you to ask me, brother.
Oh, okay, okay.
There it is.
Well,
Round
that's-
of
I
applause
appreciate that.
for
That's
David
respectful.
Archuleta,
sign
surviving
this. I
Maxwell
will sign
Celebrity
this.
Shakedown.
Because I would love for someone to have this. Actually, I would
that,
love
man.
it. Okay, I love it.
You're the best, dude. Oh my gosh. That's a wrap, man.
Signed, sealed,
Delivered.
and she's yours.